Hello, welcome back. And if you take a look on the screen here, you can see we have added much more details to our simple structure here. The reason behind it is because all the series and all the details were more of repetitive. So I just thought I can just add them behind the scenes and come back and try and explain to you how I did that. Like for example, you see this purlin here, it's just a mirror of this on the bottom end. And the difference is on the bottom end here, we don't have any inclination or any angle at the bottom end here, because these purlins just provide a supporting structure for the facade, or the covering that will be covering the whole structure. Because the end product, you will not be able to see these steel structures. You will see only the facade or the coverings of sheets and all that. Now, number one, I mirrored that, and I used the edge or the edge of this particular. Let me hide that. The edge of this, I placed my XYZ plane there, and I mirrored. I created my mirror line on the flange here, and I came up and I mirrored all the pallets like that. So there's a scenario where you find that when you populate the purlins across, you'll find one purlin knocking or cutting across the center of the column. So this particular case, you find yourself in a situation where the purlins, the cleats will not be able to connect accurately. So you'll have to find a way of creating a connection, trim it off, and use a cleat to again connect this purlin to the column. And again, we do the same thing with the other end. So I left some purlins unconnected that had that had a similar case. Like in this particular case, we have that purlin going straight to the center of the column. So we have to get rid of the cleat. And trimming this is very easy. What you do, use edit, and you come to edit and use edit frame, and you can be able to. You can also use cut. You cut by plane, or by fitting, or by boundary. Both works. And in this particular case, I used fitting, and I managed to trim all that. So here we don't have any cleat. So the cleat we're going to create is just a simple plate that will be bolted on the purlin and welded on the column. Now, there are two options to create that. You can create that manually or copy this to the same spot, because the connection is just the same thing. Number two, the framing the same way all the way to the far end. So we have just to copy this. So I'll come here, right click, and right click here, and maybe right click and come to special copy, or just to pick on copy and zoom at the bottom end here. There are so many ways to copy, but I want just to show you how. I want just to go in detail on ways you can copy. There is a manual copy. You just pick from a spot and move to the similar point here. So we want to place that one here. Just zoom close and place it right there. So the moment I place it there, you can see I have a connection there. So the next thing, I want a connection on the other end also. So I can use a mirror. And another thing, you can just pick all of them and bring them here. So a reason why I didn't pick all of them, because I wanted just to learn one command, how it works, and that command is mirror. So I want to apply mirror here. So if I select that member and come to bolts and select on the bolts, so I want to mirror this. And if you take into account, always, if you want to mirror, always check on the position of your XYZ plane. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure the XYZ plane is in the same, is on the surface of either the point, the location where you want to use as your mirror line. Now I want to use the surface of this particular column as my mirror line. So I'm going to come to view, then come to more options and pick on surface. So I want to just place my mirror line on the surface, on my XYZ plane on the surface here. So once I've done so, if I zoom close to the bottom end here, you can see I'll have my mirror line here right on the plate. So I can also use the center of this plate on the width side as my mirror line. So I want to snap on a midpoint there relative to the point at the bottom end here. So just since the other plate is active, selection is active, I just right click and come to special copy here and pick on mirror. So if I come into mirror there, I want to define 2 points to create a mirror line. So I'll snap on the mid there and snap at the mid here. Right. So the moment I snap so like that, you'll be able to see we have this plane here that cuts across. So it acts as a mirror. I'll go ahead and click run. So if I run that and go back where I was here, you can see I've mirrored that on the other end. You can see that. So that's how it works. So I can also just come here and select that also, and select that, and I'll transfer that by coming to copy and come here. I'll use the midpoint of this. I'll use the midpoint of this plate here, the midpoint of that plate there. Make sure you snap accurately. I'll pick it from that spot. So I'll move to the similar point on the other end and place it on the other end also, because you have some columns that Palins runs or cuts across like this one, but this one we finalized with, so it's not an issue. So I'll come here and check whether I have an issue with that one is complete. So I think we are moving on the right direction. So if I come on my left here, I'll find another one that is not properly connected. That one is connected, but one is missing, and we'll have to mirror that. So if I come this far end here, I'll find one that is not connected. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just place this here, but take into account that the orientation of my plates is not right. So let me just do that so that you see what I'm trying to show you. So if I snap at the center right there, you'll be able to see the clips will be placed, but the position is just absolutely wrong, because the orientation, how the framing in number one, the frame is on the opposite direction. It was in the far end, this side, and this one is on the other end. So let me just right click and come to, or just press delete, and we can delete that. It's quite easy as that. So I leave that to you to try and do that, because the key point just to show you how you can copy and mirror. And also if you come at the edge here, we'll find a way of how you can see this girder here is not welded. So we'll weld everything here, then come here and create a connection here. We'll create a plate. I'll come to steel here and come to steel beam here, and I'll just create a plate here like this. I'll create a plate here. Just use these existing points here to create a plate here that will be welded on this rafter, on this girder, and again and another plate welded on the girder and be bolted together. Then this girder will be broken into sections that will be easy to transport for erection on the assembly. So it is as easy as that, because on the next presentation I'll just show you, we'll just heading to laying the sheets or placing the facade on the whole structure. So it is very simple structure. It should not take a lot of time to walk around and clear it. So let's meet then on the next presentation. Bye bye. This is Boris, and don't forget to have a try on COMOSYS, and also don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more learning materials, and bye bye.